Who was Adolph Rupp?
He was one of the most successful basketball coaches, and I fucked up.
Who was Adolph Rupp?
He's one of the greatest basketball coaches in UK history.
Who was Adolph Rupp?
Adolph Rupp was one of the most storied basketball coaches in UK history. Yeah, he won a lot. He's a good coach.
Rupp Arena was built in 1976 as one of the main tourist attractions in downtown Lexington. Rupp Arena is mostly known as the home court for University of Kentucky's men's basketball team, but was also where events like ice hockey, arena football, concerts, and many other events that come to mind. Rupp Arena is named after Adolph Rupp, one of the university's most famous basketball coaches. Rupp led the Wildcat teams to 4 NCAA championships in 1948, 1949, 1951, and 1958.
Rupp began playing ball at a young age. With the help of his mother, who made him a ball by stuffing rags in a gunny sack, it worked for Rupp, but he said he couldn't bounce nor dribble it. Rupp was a star in high school. He averaged 19 points a game. Rupp coached the University of Kentucky's men's basketball team from 1930 to 1972. During that time, he had won 4 NCAA championships, won 1 national invitational tournament title, appeared in 20 NCAA tournaments, 6 NCAA Final Four appearances, captured 27 Southeastern Conference regular season titles, won 13 Southeastern Conference titles, and won 1 SoCon regular season championship.
He was a great coach, as you well know, and he probably did more for the growth of basketball within the United States than any other coach, and especially in the South, where football was very, very dominant, and basketball was a sport that the football players in the off season kept in shape by just playing basketball. It wasn't anything at all, but he made it into something, and he was responsible for a lot of rule changes.
With Adolph Rupp being the most well-known basketball coach there is, it also came with speculations of him being a racist. For instance, in 1972, Georgia played Kentucky at home. The game ended with Georgia winning. After the game ended, Tim Bassett, one of Georgia's few black players, said that Coach Rupp approached him and said that he didn't belong in the conference and would get him back in Lexington. Rupp also drew criticism in his career for failing to recruit black players, even though he recruited Tom Paine, Kentucky's first black player. But it was also rumored that he didn't recruit Connie Hawkins because he found out that Connie was African American. And he also vowed that blacks would never play for him at Kentucky. But the real question is, are the rumors true?
Certain racial tendencies to basketball players, like the black basketball players and stuff like that. So, do you know anything about that?
No, that's just been blown way out of proportion.
Can you expand on that?
Well, we played in the South, and there was active clubs that they really abused Coach Rupp as a coach, as a white man, and he tried his best to get Wesley Unseld from Louisville, but he was very active in trying to recruit the black players. But he knew that it would be very, very hard for them to play in the South, especially away from Lexington, because the way that he was treated as a white man, he couldn't imagine how bringing a black player into some of those communities down there, which they had immigration hadn't been down there. But he was never a racist, as they call him.
Named after the legendary basketball coach Adolph Rupp, the arena opened its doors in 1976 and is one of the largest indoor arenas that was made just for basketball, with a capacity of over 23,000. There are not many that can compare to such. The city of Lexington, Kentucky, which has been the home to Rupp for the last 40 years, has thrived in many ways because of this famous place. Because of the fact that Rupp was more than just an outstanding coach, but a man who changed the face of basketball in the South for so many reasons. Signing the first black man to play for the university and playing every team he could all over the U.S., which is unheard of at the time, brought so much to the university, but more importantly to the city because of the still lingering segregation. The history and legacy that Adolph Rupp brought to the city is one like no other. After his amazing 42 years of coaching for the University of Kentucky, he was honored with having the present name of where the Wildcats play named after him, which says a lot for itself about how remarkable Adolph Rupp was a coach, but more importantly, as a person.